You know that feeling, right? That little rumble in your stomach, that sudden, undeniable urge to find a snack? And you probably think, oh, my stomach's empty. But what if I told you that's not the real story? Not even close. What if your body is sending you this whole series of complex coded messages? Well, today, we're going to crack that code together. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to tackle that familiar stomach rumble and figure out what it's really about. Then we'll meet the actual chemical messengers that are ringing the dinner bell. After that, we'll get into the super important difference between your body needing fuel and your brain just wanting a treat. We'll even explore why hunger can make you so hangry. And finally, we'll learn how you can become a master decoder of your very own body's signals. All right, let's dive right into part one, more than an empty stomach. We're going to start with the number one suspect in this whole mystery, that classic stomach growl. But trust me, it's not what you think. So let's ask the big question. Why do we really feel hungry? I mean, we've all been there, right? You're in a dead, silent room, and suddenly your stomach just lets out this massive growl. It's so embarrassing, and you immediately blame an empty stomach. But the real story is so much deeper, and honestly, it's way cooler. Okay, here's the first huge clue. Hunger isn't just your stomach yelling, "Feed me." It's actually this incredibly well-coordinated message. Think of it like a biological system-wide alert that's sent from all over your body, straight to your brain's command center. So then, what in the world is that rumbling sound? Well, it's not about being empty. A couple of hours after you eat, your digestive system kicks off this whole process. You can think of it as the cleanup crew coming in. It's basically sweeping any leftover bits of food and gunk through your intestines. And get this, that sound has a fantastic scientific name, borborygmus. Seriously, it's just the noise of those cleanup contractions doing their job. So the next time your stomach growls, don't just assume it's a desperate cry for food. It might just be a sign of some really good housekeeping. So if the rumble isn't the main signal, then what is? Well, that brings us to section 2, the chemical messengers. Let's meet the hormones that are actually in charge of making you feel hungry. Okay, say hello to the main character in our story, ghrelin. People call it the hunger hormone, and for good reason. It's made right there in your stomach, and its whole job is to take a trip up to your brain and basically announce, hey, I think it's about time to eat something. This is honestly the perfect way to think about it. This isn't some vague, random feeling. It's direct communication. Your stomach is literally sending a text message to your brain that says, hey, we might be running low on fuel down here, just a heads up. So how does this text actually get delivered? Well, first, your stomach releases ghrelin into your bloodstream. Then it cruises up to a part of your brain called the hypothalamus. You can kind of think of this as your body's snack control center. Once it gets there, it rings the dinner bell and flips the hunger switch to on. Okay, so we've got stomach rumbles and hunger hormones. But believe it or not, it gets even more complicated. Welcome to part 3, where we get into the difference between true biological need and something we can call brain hunger. Now, this is a really key plot twist in our story. Your stomach doesn't always run the show. Sometimes that feeling of hunger actually starts in your bloodstream. Your body is constantly, and I mean constantly, monitoring its fuel levels, and that's totally separate from how full or empty your stomach feels. Think of it like this. Your body has its own internal fuel gauge, and it's always checking for 3 main things. Glucose, which is basically sugar for energy, amino acids, which you get from proteins, and fatty acids from, fats. If any of these dip too low, your blood sends an urgent alert to the brain that says, warning, fuel reserves are getting low. And this brings us to the big showdown. Need versus want. Need is real hunger. It's a biological signal triggered by those hormones and low fuel levels. But want, that's brain hunger. That gets triggered by your senses. The smell of pizza, the sound of sizzling bacon, or even just thinking about ice cream. It's basically your brain getting a serious case of FOMO, fear of missing out on a tasty snack. Of course, your body has a stop button too. As your stomach stretches, there's this thing called the vagus nerve that sends fullness updates. At the same time, another hormone called leptin acts like a stop eating sign. The problem is that brain hunger we just talked about, it is really good at just blowing right past those stop signs. And now, for a feeling that I think we all know a little too well, part 4, from hungry to hangry. Let's break down why a simple need for food can completely hijack our emotions. Come on, you've been there. That sudden, totally irrational anger and irritability that just hits you when you've gone too long without eating. Well, I'm here to tell you, it is not just in your head. It is a real physiological thing.
So here's what's actually going on. Your brain runs almost entirely on one fuel, glucose, which is just blood sugar. When that fuel source starts to get dangerously low, your body stops sending polite text messages. It goes straight for the panic button.
Hitting that alarm triggers a whole cascade of stress hormones. Your body floods your system with cortisol and adrenaline to try and give you a quick jolt of energy. But a huge side effect of those very same hormones, moodiness, irritability. Your body is basically shouting, "This is an emergency, find food now!"
And doesn't it seem like in those moments you always crave junk food? Well, there's a reason for that. Sugary, fatty foods trigger a release of feel-good chemicals in our brain. It's a reward system, and it was absolutely essential for our ancestors. It drove them to find high-energy foods to survive. For us today, it just drives us straight to the vending machine.
Okay, let's bring this all home in our final section, decoding your body's signals. Now that we've seen all the different pieces of the puzzle, what does it all mean for us, really?
So if there's one single thing to take away from all this, it's this. Hunger is not one thing. It's a complex, ongoing conversation happening between your stomach, your hormones, your blood, and your brain. It's your body trying to tell you what it needs, what it wants, and sometimes what's an emergency. So the real question is, are you listening? So here's the thought I really want to leave you with. The next time you feel that pang of hunger, just pause for a second. Ask yourself, what message is my body really sending me right now? Is this just the cleanup crew rumbling? Is it a ghrelin text message? Is it a genuine low fuel alert? Or is it just my brain's FOMO kicking in? Because decoding that message, that's the first step to truly understanding what your body is trying to tell you.